live. And why am I doing this? Why am I going live? I don't know. Just kind of wanted to give you guys some real chit chat, some real talk, if you will. So I'm in the garage. Let's see if I can flip the camera around. The car is here, and yeah, just in the garage chilling. But I guess I just kind of wanted to, talk with you guys. It's been a while, so I haven't really been posting that much. I think I posted a video recently, about 15, about two weeks or so. I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about why and what's been going on, what I've been thinking, what's been the updates and all that stuff. But essentially, I just wanted to take a little bit of a break just because I felt like I was kind of not posting for myself. I was kind of posting more so for algorithms and things of that nature. That's not really what I want my channel to be about, nor is not what I want I just don't want to live that way. You know what I'm saying? I just want to kind of do things on my own accord when I feel like it, because I feel like it, and not necessarily like a motivational thing, but just because I want to do it that way. But that's that. But other than that, I don't even know if my mic's working good. I think it is. Got my DJI mics on. Let me see if I can see the settings on here. Oh, that's mute. Whatever, we'll see. If it doesn't work, then I'll just delete the video. But yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about why Porsche and why now. I think that's a relevant subject. I think that's something that I would want to know. Why Porsche and why now? So I guess I should start with why now. So I'm 38 years old. I'll be 39 in September. I've had many cars. I mean, as you guys know from the channel before, I had the G80 M3, had the E39 BMW, had a lot of other BMWs in the past, 135s. Other 5 Series. Before that, I had Evos, Evo 10, G37. What else? I had GTR when I lived in Japan. It was an R32. I had a STI. Yes, I had a lot of cars, and I guess it was like, when I think about why Porsche, it's more so of a progression of sorts. I could have got a Porsche before, at different stages of my life. Let's sit inside of this one. Yeah, I could have got a Porsche before. I could afford it before, but I don't know. I just didn't really. I've appreciated them from afar. I never really it never caught my eye to the point where I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get one. And I guess like over time, as you evolve, as you experience other cars, meeting new people, meeting, individuals, seeing other people's cars and builds, you get curious. And that's kind of what happened. It's like I guess I wasn't as curious, or I didn't go down enough rabbit holes, if you will, to kind of make me want to really figure out how I can make this Porsche thing happen. But then, as I look back on it, and I look back on, the cars I've had over the years, like the attachment. I'm never really attached. I learned my lesson with my Evo 10. I used to be attached to my cars like crazy. Like I babied them. And had my Evo 10. I had just finished detailing it, cleaned it up, super nice, was looking amazing. And I was backing it out of the garage. I don't know why I didn't have the door closed all the way when I was backing it out, and it's like kind of swung open, and the driver's side door caught the frame of the garage and like literally like peeled it back. And I was like, what the fuck? I can't call insurance for this shit. So I literally had to like, pay for it, of course, out of pocket. And, the guy at the body shop, he was just like, I remember he told me, he was like, man, it's just a car, man. It's still nice. It's going to be nice. Like, don't worry about it. And from that day on, like, I just stopped babying my cars. I was just like, shit happens. And so, yeah. So, and then also, kind of like separated myself as far as like who I was, my identity from my cars and my bills and all that shit. So, so I'm not really attached to them, not really, I don't really, I baby them as far as like taking care of them, make sure they're clean, but it is what it is. Like if something was to happen, it's like, all right, whatever. So yeah, so going through that process, yeah, I just never really was the type to be like, all right, I'm stuck with this car, or I'm going to keep this car forever, yada yada yada. At least during those younger years. So, you know, through life circumstances and having to sell things and change things up, it got me used to being adaptable and being able to adjust on the fly. So, that kind of translated into the last few cars that I've had where it was like, all right, well, you know, um, although the G80 was one of those ones that I was like, I think I'm gonna keep this forever, yada, 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 just because of it was the first car I had gotten after, you know, I had to start over in life. Like the first nice new car, like sports car. But, it is what it is. I knew what was on the other side of that, so I needed to part ways, and I did so. But yeah, so did that, and then that led me to the Porsches, and yeah. So why Porsche? I don't know why. I think it's like it's one of those things where you don't know until you know, but when you know, it's like, oh, it all makes sense. As weird as that shit sounds, I hate to be that guy that sounds like every PCA member, but it's the truth. It is the truth. So, you know, having the M3, having all those cars, and then we had a Macan first, and that kind of got us familiar with Porsche as a brand. And then we started going down to wanted to learn about history, things of that nature. So the more I learned about their history and heritage and all of that, it was just like it was very intriguing, very interesting, and it aligned a lot with how I am as a person. So had an opportunity to drive a 911, and that was amazing. And then we ended up building the 911, the 24, the Carmine Red, and once we started like driving it like often, it just clicked, and yeah, so we just started going down rabbit holes, and here I am, 2 more added shortly after, and it's been insane, and I wouldn't change anything about it. Do I miss the G80? No, I don't, to be honest, but just because I like where I've done with the 997. So 997 is like very nice, nicely modded, I believe. So it kind of gives me that same styling that I had on the G80, and super happy with that. But yeah, so that's kind of, why Porsche. But, you know, I don't know. I've over the last few weeks, since I kind of like took my little break from posting and even social media. If you're on my Instagram, I didn't like block you or anything like that. I deactivated my account for a bit because I just needed to kind of like reset. But pretty much what I'm kind of leaning towards and what I'm thinking and seeing and stuff like that is just kind of starting to shed a lot of the noise, if you will. Let me see if I can put this on the map. Oh, you can't see me though. So just kind of shedding the noise. You see so much, get so many distractions, get inundated with so much information, so many things to see and admire and aspire for and all that stuff. And I just needed to know what I wanted, right? And and I also needed to know that what I have is enough. Sometimes when you have you have things, you have health, you have you know means to do things, you have, whether it's cars, whether it's whatever, you have all these things. But when you're like constantly in the mix of social media, YouTube, whatever, you forget that it is enough. And I needed to kind of like remind myself that it's enough. Now, I will say on the back end of that, I do want to do more and I want to accomplish more, but I don't want to get myself in a psychological rut thinking that it needs to happen like right now. You know, even with my builds, I built the 997, like I did that in just a few months, less than a year, right? And that's pretty damn fast. Yeah, that's really fast. So, having built that in a year's time, it's just one of those things where, you're just like, this car is pretty sick and I need to enjoy it and I want to enjoy it and I need to, appreciate it before I do anything else. And even with the air cooled, just like, just having that car is pretty amazing and I want to enjoy it and I want to drive it and I want to, just appreciate it more as opposed to like constantly thinking of what's next, what I gotta add to it, and all of that stuff. So, build plans are still in place, but, I'm okay with it taking a little bit longer. Same thing with the 992. So, all good things, but, you have to kind of come through those realizations in life to understand that, things that everything is in due time, but take a step back and like soak it in, like damn, like I came a long way. I came a long way and I've done some cool things along that way. And I'm pretty proud of myself. Not done, but take a breather, sit down and relax. So in that meantime, I was just kind of like going to the gym, working out more, playing basketball more, getting back into that, writing every day, reading, and just kind of sharpening my mindset. So now when I, getting back into YouTube, I kind of want to lean more into this type of stuff, go live, talk a little bit, chit chat. Yeah, and then you guys can kind of see like a real glimpse of like what goes on in my day to day. So like today, I'm gonna go coach basketball. So I'm the skills trainer or skills coach for a 16U AAU team. So, go there, work out with those guys, train with them. I actually do like to play with them and, test their skills up against mine so they can see that. So it's kind of like the thing there. And yeah, so let's go in here. I'm gonna sit up in this joint. Yeah, sit up in here for a bit. So yeah, so that's kind of where that's at. But yeah, quick little live video, and just chilling. But life for me now, I can comfortably say that. And I've been reading Urban Outlaw, the Magnus Walker book, so that doesn't help. But his story is pretty awesome and very inspirational. So kind of leaning into that as well, being trying to be more creative, being more authentic, being more of myself, and leaning into that more. But other than that, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. I still got my wheels coming for the Targa, by the way. Probably wait a little bit just because I got to figure out the tire sizes. I will do a video when I get the wheels and test fit them as far as like mocking them up. So I'll do a video so you guys can see that. And then I got to figure out the tires and what kind of fitment I want to go with that. Because the car is very low, but if I got to raise it up a smidge, then I'll do so. But so that's going to be exciting when I get that. The exhaust for the 997 is being finalized, so we're working on that. So hopefully have that final product, the V2 version with the 200 cell cats. So hopefully have a better sound, better tone, and reviewed, and you guys can take advantage of that as well. But all in all, I'm still at it, still going strong. Got so many things I want to do this year, so many things I'm going to do this year, and I just got to stay sharp and not worry so much about the the size of the house or the how fast I can build a house. I need to worry about just putting each brick down perfectly, day by day, moment by moment. And at the end of it all, it'll probably be bigger than what I expect. And that's going to be what I'm going to focus on. So that's it. That's it for this live. I hope the fucking audio even worked. I don't know, but we'll see. Tap in and catch you guys later. Time to go play some ball. Peace.